What's up, GS350JPN in the house. I come here with him. Anyway, he came down here for a few hours to chill out. So I came up here for a few hours to chill out with him and stuff. So we had this nice long conversation about money
plus 1
equals
2.
But I forget. Gaijin, she's really clever, so he had a lot to say and I listened.
I threw in the -1 plus 1 equals 0.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that because we had to leave. Anyway, do you know what negatives mean? Dun-dun. And actually, the negatives mean is things that you can't see with the naked eye. So that's what that comes in. So like the microorganisms and stuff like that. And so the 0 came in. The 0 is always there. It just means that it's nothing. But it's not really nothing. It's just that it's a point of origin.
It's a something.
Yeah.
It's a placeholder.
Yeah.
For a nothing.
Yeah. For actually, it's just an origin because once you leave the 0, it's like a neutral. This neutral zone. But actually, it's something. But it's like point 0.00000000000. In other words, you haven't moved. That's all. So you move towards something that you can see, or you move towards the things you can't see. But anyway, that's just my translation.
Ah, but this is a something and a nothing. Actually, it's going to be a long video if we're going for that.
Yeah, but a nothing is nothing. A nothing is something that you don't understand.
All right, here we got there. So here's something. It's a 2 something. 1 plus 1 equals 2. The something is what is on it, right? If I rip it in half, is it still a something?
Yes, it's always going to be a something.
It's a nothing.
No, it ain't. It's a something because you're still there.
All right, well, I'm not going to use money because I don't got money like that. But if we rip money, say these were dollars, $1 plus $2, it would be $2. The minute I rip the dollar in half, is it still a dollar?
Yes, because you can go to the bank and get it, change it. But you can't use it in the store in Japan because they don't use tape.
So it's a nothing.
Not a nothing, it's just unusable. And there's a difference.
Unusable and a nothing.
Oh, you can't buy anything with it, but you can buy nothing with it. So it is useful in that way.
You got zombies down in Osaka?
Well, I forgot about that. Tonight is Halloween.
Really?
Well, it was Halloween party yesterday. There was a Halloween party yesterday.
Oh yeah, Halloween is next Friday.
Yeah, it might be next Friday.
Okay, I forgot. I never been in Osaka in October. I always come down in September.
Actually, I think last year, the year before, there was a Halloween party. And I went over to this party in Sensaibashi, American Mortar. And the people were out with some really nice costumes and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. So you got a little glimpse of what we were going back about, but
basically, all I said was that the truth, 1 plus 1 equals 2, doesn't create excitement. And people don't take the time to really understand that 1 plus 1 equals 2 really is exciting. And that people just use their imaginations and make it exciting by their emotions. So basically that's all. And when you do that, that's where it causes you problems and you don't really understand things. But anyway, it's not important. Boring conversations.
Nah, like back with not Aristotle, Socrates. That's all they did. Walk around talking about anything and everything. I don't think a lot of people walking. Actually, that's what it is. They're walking around talking about Mariah Carey's divorcement. That's not a word. From Nick Cannon. You could talk about it all day. It won't create much, in my opinion. It won't be much for you. You can't use that information. But if you could figure out the way I see it, what he came up with a system of thinking, kind of a framework.
Who, me?
Yeah. And there could be lots of frameworks. Once you got a framework, you could do anything. Go much faster. You don't got to think about, like, especially with math, how you broke it down.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you have a way to make it chunkable. Little, like when I approach math, or I don't like math, but I'm doing accounting and finance. For the longest time, it was just, because I was looking at it as a big thing. But what you could do in Excel, you could take all those zeros and like turn it into just one. Because the zeros were throwing me off, and they weren't perfect numbers, so it'd be like 1, 6, 7, 6, 3, 6, 7, 4, 3, you know. But you just round it up, and then you just kind of stand back. There's only 3 parts to an income statement. Oh, there's more parts, but put it in little chunks, and it made it a lot easier. So I do like your system.
Oh, thank you.
And you know, if you're in school now, high school, it's
simple.
You know, it'll help you
very much.
Like I wish that, because a lot of simple math be getting me in grad school.
Wow.
Just shit I knew I should have learned, but I was busy writing my raps.
Dictionary.
Right, I was reading the dictionary to write my raps.
I mean for the math.
Yeah. Well, now I use, and you guys are lucky. You got Wikipedia, you got Investopedia, you got all these apps, and you got all these PDF books for free.
I even got Investopedia on mine.
Yeah, like I pop into the whatever term and it comes up with some shit. On YouTube, they got this thing called MBA is bullshit. And it's just this guy who breaks everything down using like really, you got one pig and you got a Coke machine. Like really silly kind of topics, but the concept is the same. So yeah, if you don't know it, there's a lot of, plus you got tutors. Like in grad school, there's no tutors. They're like, you don't know it, go figure it out. But in high school and college, you got a tutor room. So I would really, really, really suggest you use it.
Yep.
Because it's free.
Yep. Just think about it. I calculated all the hours from kindergarten to 12th grade of how many hours you spend in school. School is a place where it protects you from your parents, from your friends, from the cops, from everything. School is supposed to be a learning zone specifically for you. You're not supposed to be making no girlfriends. It's not about making friends. It's not about getting no boyfriends. All it is about getting that knowledge. You have 25,740 hours of studying time that you're going to spend in school from the time you are in kindergarten to the 12th grade. And if you graduate and you can't read, you can't do math, you can't do anything, it's your fault. Yeah. It's your fault. No one else to blame. They provide you the schools, they pay the gas to bus you to school, give you the papers, the books, they pay teachers to even teach you. And you graduate and you hate school. You hate learning.
But maybe, because I also hated school.
I did.
But it wasn't so much the school that I hated. It was, I didn't think of, like all I focused on was rapping. That's all I focused. But some teachers used the rap to get me. So they figured out a way to make it work. But you can do that for yourself. So if you're interested in whatever, then you can apply it to whatever you're learning. So if it's a history class, do some extra work figuring out or researching about some time period that interests you. Your teacher will love it. When you get chances to pick your own book reports, don't just pick a short book, pick a book that you might be interested in. Because you have to read it, so you might as well, because that's how when I got to college, you get to pick your own whatever. And when I started reading things that I was interested in, I read it. I was the first one to hand in my report. Since it was so early, the teacher gave me some pre-marks saying you should change this and that and the third. I got my first A. Put on the refrigerator. I'm like 20, you know. My dad doesn't care because, you know what it is. But my mom was happy. And but you really got to make it your own thing. You know, like avatars, you know, you dress it up the way you like it, your fashion. So do that with school and it'll make it a little bit easier, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's true, because I just made some videos along the same thing. When you're in school, and if you have a book to read, you know, get together with your classmates and read a paragraph each and record it, and then you just listen to it. It shouldn't take no more than 30 minutes for everyone to read. Well, according to your reading skills, but it shouldn't take no more than an hour for each person to read, and put it on your iPad and make it into a video, whatever, and send it to each other, and you just listen to it every day, over and over, and it'll sink in. If you don't know the vocabulary,
dictionary.
Yep. And
if you put that on YouTube, because you're in high school, right? So there's probably hundreds of other high schools that probably got to read the same book as you.
Exactly.
They're gonna search. They're gonna find your video.
Yep.
You're gonna get. You got to set up the ads and all that, but you're gonna make a little bit of change.
You're gonna make some money.
You know, not a lot, but enough to pay incentive. How do you say this?
Incentives.
Incentivize.
Huh? Enough to motivation, you mean?
Monetize.
Oh, monetize.
Well, not motivate, but anyway, yeah.
You'll make enough money to encourage you to do it some more. Basically, to be your own business, entrepreneurship or something like that. But you got to share with the money with all the people that you read with.
Yeah. Oh, I got some books that I highly suggest. It's called, one book is called Think and Grow Rich, you know it?
Yeah.
By Napoleon Hill. They also got one written by a black dude. It's called Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. That's a good one. If it's too many words for you, there's another one called Blink and Grow Rich. It's like an audio tape. It comes up to like a half an hour or so. So it's really simple, kind of condenses. And
but Think and Grow Rich, the whole thing about it is that most of the things that you think about, and most of the things that you do in your life, if they're not hurting anyone, can make money. You know, just even with me and him talking about it, if we just wrote this into a book and just talk about that, you know, sure, we're not giving specifics or anything, because a lot of people don't really need specifics. They just need to hear a few words that'll make them kind of like joggle their own thinking, and they might say, oh, you know, and they might just hear one word that might open up a whole chapter. You know how it is when you're talking to people, and you'll say one thing and then they'll change the subject to something totally different. Well, you know, it's something like that. Something like that can happen. That's what I think. What do you think?
Yeah. To add to that, one of the points in Think and Grow Rich, well, for the black choice, is just saying that, you know, black people, white people, we all have the same choices, same opportunities. And what's great about this book is a lot of other books, management books and all that, are written from a kind of a, I don't want to say white perspective, but a white perspective. So they use a lot of famous white people. And I'm always like, but what happens if you were a slave? What happens if you were inner city, blah, 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 blah? Does it apply? But this book is written in that way. So it talks about all the great black entrepreneurs that you probably never heard of, because they're like 30, 40 years back in the day. But for example, well, you got to read it. But so when I read those stories, and they came from worse situations, you know, they were literally back in the day when black people couldn't do so many things. Y'all have more opportunities than them, but they still persevered and made their little millions.
Little millions. Little millions.
So that really inspired me. And even that book, Think and Grow Rich, the Latin flavor or some shit like that. So, and that, you know, so everyone has their own kind of challenges, and it's specific, or at least for Latin people, black people, white people. But the information is the same. It doesn't really matter your color, but the examples are more specific to your situation.
And Latin just means an area, because people in Latin America look like the people in South America look like the people all over the world. It's just a title, doesn't specifically belong to any one person, color, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna quit this after 15 minutes, and we'll probably start up another one maybe.